Hey guys, Coach Eli here today, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of insight about how we create content, or if you're a coach, a consultant, a content creator, you're putting out ideas on Facebook or to your business. Most likely you read a lot of books, you consume a lot of videos, you're consuming a lot of content, but so often we get this content and we're just going through it. We're reading a book for the purpose of checking the book off the list, and we don't really sit and resonate with the content. So here's a little process that I do. I really take the time to get some insight. And by the way, when I get some powerful insight, you're just like, I used to just underline it, highlight it, but now I take some time to reflect. And often what I'll do is I'll take that one insight and I'll create my own unique point of view based on it, and I'll create an entire piece of content. Sometimes I do this long form, sometimes short form, sometimes I just take a few notes, and I really think about how this concept applies to my life, what strategies I can implement, and what are the specific tactics or action items that I can do attached to it. So here's basically the process. You are reading a book, you are consuming a video, you get some idea, or what is called, as my friend Garrett White says, a revelation. So you've got this revelation that's come to you, and you think about, what does it mean? So something for me, for example, recently, I was actually going through some of the Byron Katie work. It's basically a process to reframe negative emotions or stories that we tell ourselves and create more empowering meanings. And so in this process, you get this question, it's like, is this true? Do I know 100% that it's true? So I'm beginning to create doubt and uncertainty around these areas that I had so much certainty in that weren't reinforcing the best Eli. So I'm getting all these revelations. And so what happens, you get this insight, this revelation, you read something, you hear something, you're like, oh my God. But now we need to have our reaction to it. And so the reaction is, how do I feel about that? What are those insights? How does that specifically relate to me? So we get this reaction. And then we think, how do I actually apply this to my life? How do I put into a roadmap, if you will? So what is the process? What does this look like? Is this a daily thing? Is this a new habit that I need to really hone in on for the next 30, 60, 90 days? Is this a quarterly thing? Is this a life thing? Is it the context of my relationship? Is it the context of my dating life or my physical fitness or my health or my character or my conduct? What's my reaction to it, and what's the roadmap? How does it actually apply? And then I think, well, if I'm putting this new concept into my life, maybe I don't have the time, or maybe it takes more money, or maybe more people. And so I get the roadblocks. Next up, the roadblocks. What are the possible challenges that could keep me from implementing this into my life and having the results that I want? So I've got this great idea or insight, or specifically a way to handle negative emotions in my own life. Well, what might stop me from doing that? Well, time, or I'm busy, or I discount it. So I'm honest with myself. I'm honest with myself about what might stop me from utilizing this. And so often in life, we just blow past this. We think, oh, I'm just going to do it. And then something else, some new shiny object comes up, and we just blow by it, and nothing happens. So I think, what's the roadblock? What are the possible things that could stop me from really utilizing this tool? And then now I've got the possible roadblocks, and then I create my response to that, and I've got an accurate map. Another thing that I do when I'm looking for ideas is I'm just going through books and looking at the table of contents. Sometimes I'm not speed reading, I'm trying to read faster these days, but I'm getting a grasp of concepts. And so I'll just look at the table of contents. In pretty much any book, the table of contents, all the big ideas are there. But instead of taking the time to really dive in, which sometimes I do, read the person's ideas, I get so many of my own insights out of just the title, just off the table of contents. I think, wow. And after a while, especially if I'm familiar with an author, I kind of get what they're going to do. They're going to tell some stories, but I think about how does this relate? And sometimes I will want some insight and I will want some depth there, but I'm always taking every bit of information through this process, and I'm really getting it, what's going on here? Why is this important to me? And I think about how this applies to my life and what I can do now to make this an ingrained habit. So hopefully this has helped you. So when you're consuming content, if it's something really powerful, take a moment, take a pause, go through this process, and you will find that you get it deeper into you for your own life and your own learning. But also, if you're a content creator, if you're a leader, you could actually distill down these insights, these ideas, and teach them to others, therefore solidifying you as a thought leader in your business.